We're always told that letting go is a sign of failure, that it means you're giving up. But what if it's the total opposite? What if walking away is actually the ultimate act of self-respect? That's the powerful idea we're going to dive into today. We're all taught that strength means holding on tighter, right? Fighting harder, never ever giving up. But what if that whole narrative is just wrong? What if real strength isn't about holding on at all? And that is the question at the very heart of this. We're talking about the quiet, often misunderstood bravery it takes to choose to leave. And look, it's not about a lack of love. No, it's about something so much deeper. And this is so important to get right off the bat. This choice, it often comes from a place of deep love. Seriously. The decision to walk away, it's almost never about a lack of feeling. It's about realizing there's a fundamental problem that love alone just can't fix. And that's it, isn't it? That's the terrifying part. It's that slow, quiet chipping away at who you are. It's that moment you look in the mirror and realize the price of keeping them is, well, it's losing yourself. And that silent crisis, that's what fuels this incredibly powerful choice. So why is this so hard to see? Well, a lot of the time, it's because of a story we've been sold our entire lives. A really specific, super romanticized lie about what love is supposed to look like. We've all heard this, right? It's in movies, in songs, in the advice we get. And hey, sometimes it's absolutely true. But there's a really dangerous side to this idea that nobody ever seems to talk about. This is where you cross the line from healthy endurance into just survival. When you find yourself begging for basic communication, or constantly having to explain your own feelings, or making yourself smaller so you're not too much. Listen, that isn't love anymore. That is straight up survival mode. And it's just exhausting. And this is the absolute biggest lie of them all, that walking away means you just didn't love them enough. It's this idea that if you really cared, you would have stayed, you would have endured even more. But what if that gets the whole thing completely backwards? This is where we flip the script. The decision to walk away stops being about them, and it starts being about you. It's that moment where your own need for self-preservation finally becomes more important than your attachment to a situation that is literally breaking you down. Letting go isn't usually some big, dramatic, movie moment decision. Most of the time, it's more like a slow burn. It all starts with this quiet feeling, like a little whisper in the back of your mind that something just feels off. And this is often the first tiny crack in the whole foundation. Think about it. Love at its core is supposed to feel safe, right? Like a safe harbor. So when you find yourself feeling anxious more than you feel secure, when your nervous system is just constantly on high alert, that's a huge sign. You have to listen to that. And then there's this. Do you feel like you're the only one trying? Like they're the sole guardian of the relationship, the one who's always apologizing, bringing up the tough conversations, trying to smooth everything over? Man, that imbalance is such a heavy, heavy weight to carry all by yourself. And maybe for months, maybe even years, you've told yourself that you're just too needy or too sensitive. But the scariest and honestly most freeing realization, it's that you're not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong person. Okay, so this brings us to something that is absolutely crucial to understand. There's a massive difference between healthy compromise and the slow, painful process of self-abandonment. All right, let's really break this down. Compromise, that's a we thing. It's two people working together to protect the connection they have. But self-abandonment, that's a me sacrifice. It's when you consistently silence your own needs just to keep someone else comfortable. You're basically saying your peace is more important than my pain, and that's a dangerous place to be. And that, right there, that's why letting go sometimes becomes absolutely necessary. It's not just about getting out of a bad relationship. It's about stopping the complete erosion of your own self. It's like a rescue mission for your own identity. So, if it's all so clear, why is it so incredibly hard to leave? The answer is simple, and it's something we all get. Fear. We so often choose the pain we know over a future we don't. I mean, these fears are so powerful. The fear of having to start all over again, the fear of being lonely, the fear of regret. And then there's that really sneaky one. What if this is the best I can do? What if this is as good as it gets? That's why we cling to a pain that's familiar, right? Because it feels safer than the terrifying emptiness of the unknown. Which leads us to a really pivotal question you have to ask yourself. Think about it. Being alone, that can be a temporary state. But being alone, unheard, and totally undervalued inside a relationship, that can become a permanent way of life. So really, what's scarier? Being alone for a little while or being unseen forever? But for anyone who does make that unbelievably courageous choice, there is a path forward. Now, it's not easy, don't get me wrong, but it leads you back to the one person you lost somewhere along the way, yourself. And the healing journey, it kind of looks like this. Yeah, it starts with pain and grief, of course it does, but then, slowly, something starts to shift. That constant urge to text them just fades. You actually start to sleep better. You remember hobbies you used to love, friends you haven't seen in ages. Your energy starts coming back because you're not spending all of it just defending your right to exist anymore. And this is the ultimate payoff. It's the final, beautiful shift in perspective. The story is no longer about what you lost. It becomes a story about what you got back. You didn't lose a person. You found yourself again. And at the end of the day, this is the one truth that matters most. The relationship you have with yourself will always outlast the one you have with anyone else. Always. So nurturing that relationship, that's the most important investment you will ever make. So we want to leave you with this one simple question to carry with you. If you find yourself constantly making yourself smaller, silencing your own needs just to keep the peace, just ask yourself this: am I staying because I'm truly loved, or am I staying because I'm just afraid? Your honest answer to that, it will tell you everything you need to know.